discuss that and where the Republican Party goes from here with the Vice Chairman of the Florida GOP, Christian Ziegler, and the pastor of First Baptist Church Dallas, the Reverend Robert Jeffress. Good to have you back with us, Dr. Jeffress, and welcome, Christian.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you on.
Okay, so there's a lot of frustration out there in that we're hearing a message of unity from the incoming administration, and yet at the same time, we're hearing things like this. This is the president-elect essentially accusing, or at least using terminology, about a couple of GOP senators and a despicable Nazi.
I think they should be just flat beaten the next time they run. I think the American public has a real good, clear look at who they are. They're part of the big lie. The big lie. We're told that, you know, Goebbels and the great lie. You keep repeating the lie, repeating the lie.
Okay, so we did not call them Nazis, but when you invoke that language, people across the spectrum generally agree it's not a good idea. Pastor, how do we get unified from here against that backdrop?
Well, I think there are two things, Shannon, and I deal with this in my piece at foxnews.com tomorrow morning about bringing healing to our nation. I think it starts with the words that we speak. I mean, if Biden is serious about wanting to bring healing to our country, then he should stop lambasting Republicans and President Trump every chance he gets. I mean, if he really wants to bring healing, I think the best thing he could do at his inauguration speech is to begin by thanking President Trump and the First Lady for their service for the past 4 years, and by acknowledging that the 75 million people who didn't vote for him love our country and are patriots. That would go a long way in bringing healing to our country. And the second thing is, I think we need to learn how, Shannon, to set aside the anger, the corrosive bitterness that is literally destroying the soul of our nation, how we do that without being forced to give up our deeply held convictions. And I think that starts with respecting the right of people to be wrong, to hold viewpoints different than you do about the election or any other topic.
Yeah, it is what makes America so unique in the backdrop against the rest of the world. Kevin McCarthy, the House Minority Leader, in his statement today said this partly. He said, "Our country is not just divided, we are deeply hurt. But to deliver a better America for all, partisans of all stripes first must unite as Americans." So, Christian, what do Republicans need to hear, the voters that you worked on behalf of that voted for President Trump, having to walk away from this saying he's not going to be the president? Are there things that you've heard Joe Biden say that you think Republicans can work with him on, a positive way forward, some kind of unity that can be achieved politically?
Well, I think it's going to be tough. The plan here, I mean, what we're going to see and the strategy is going to be is Joe Biden is going to dangle unity out there, and that's going to be the shiny object everyone looks at and talks about and the media references. But on the back end, what you're going to see is Congress really go after the 74 million voters that voted for Donald Trump. And we're seeing that this week. They're quickly drafting articles of impeachment. They've lobbied for the 25th Amendment to be invoked. And unfortunately, that's the tone that we're going to see from Congress. And Joe Biden's going to sit back and say unity. They're going to take that action. And it's really going to turn off the 74 million voters that voted for Donald Trump. So, you know, what I would like to see from this administration and from Congress going forward is let's look at some things that we can discuss and that we can work together on. The country's suffering right now with COVID. Let's talk about how we can get people back to work, how we can get businesses back on their feet. Let's get the government out of the way and let's empower them. Let's open up this country. Let's open up our schools. And I think that's what Americans want to see, and that's what Americans need, frankly. And I hope they will work across the aisle to get that done, because we need to get people to work, we need to get people to school, and we need to get the country back up on its feet.
And yet what we're hearing tonight, Pastor, quickly, is we're seeing a lot of moves on social media to shut down President Trump and other accounts associated with him. There seems to be a purge of accounts going on and possibly a blocking of Parler, which is supposed to be a conservative alternative. Quickly, if people are further divided only into their own echo chambers, how do we reunite as a country?
Well, I think we do have to resist this cancel culture that we're in. And we need to speak truth instead of speaking lies. And I mean, the fact is, yes, there were people who did horrible things at the Capitol that need to be denounced. They need to be prosecuted. But there were some people that were peacefully protesting as well. We've got to speak truth. And Shannon, I just remember the words of the Old Testament. Gracious words are like a honeycomb that bring healing to the soul and health to the body. We need some more gracious words coming from both sides.
We do. Pastor, Christian, great to see you both. All the best in the new year.
Thank you. Happy
Appreciate
New
it.
Year.
Thanks for having me on.